670 WOCA.
Ocala.
Ocala, baby, what makes you look so good? Ocala, baby, what makes you look so good? Why don't you love me like I know you could?
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Friday morning. The effervescent and beautiful Kelly Hart is not here today. I believe she's in the Lone Star State, according to her substitute. Dr. Bud Beck is in the studio, and he's sitting in for Kelly. And I heard, and in fact I saw a photo of you, Bud, receiving some awards for your work over at Ocala Magazine. Good morning, Bud. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. So Kelly's in Texas?
Yes, and on Facebook, she's complaining. She says if she hears the finance word again, she will scream.
The finance word.
Yes.
Just doesn't want to have to deal with the money, right?
Yeah, well, the new boyfriend, perhaps to-be person, is there on a training session, and he took Kelly along with him.
Ah, okay.
And so
It's all about finances?
it's all about finances and his job for a change. And that kind of... that wears, I guess, on independent women like Kelly has
That's
been
right.
for a while.
We just want money. We don't want to know how to handle it. We just want it.
Exactly.
Can you imagine if you had so much that you never need to worry about handling it?
Hey,
I guess your name would be Donald Trump or something. I don't know.
well, you wanted to bring up Donald Trump. We'll get right into politics first thing this morning, won't we?
So how are you doing?
I'm doing excellent, really.
And you won some awards, so congratulations on that.
Well, Ocala Magazine won the awards. Best writing, some great photography. We've got a great photographer at Ocala Magazine. Chris Red does a great job for us.
Yes.
What a talented young guy.
Yeah.
And I've been working with him now for 4 months. And
Do you know what I heard about photographers? I heard to congratulate a photographer on his talent by saying you've got a nice camera is like congratulating a chef on his meals because he has a nice stove or a nice oven. It's in the hands of the talent, right?
It's the talent, you know. A chef never makes the same thing exactly the same way twice, and Chris doesn't take exactly the same picture twice, and that's what's impressive about him. I've watched him work. The cover of the magazine, beautiful young woman's legs in a $500,000 Rolls Royce, and it was to accent the luxury issue for August, and Chris did a great job doing that.
It's the luxury issue.
The luxury issue.
Luxury in Ocala?
There's a lot of it, believe me.
Yeah,
There's more than people realize. I mean, just take a look right across from us. We've got a piece of artwork that people ignore just walking by.
The bronze horses, I don't know what metal they're really made out of. I call them bronze. What do you think they are?
I would think they're copper.
Copper?
I would think it's probably copper.
Really?
Because see the way it's
sort of greenish? Yeah.
At the bottom? It's probably a copper alloy.
I don't know.
I don't think anything's pure anymore, do you?
I don't know. I don't know.
We're old guys. We know. I mean,
don't know anything.
We've lived through this stuff.
I don't know much. I don't really know much. So how was your summer?
My summer's been pretty good, really.
Did you go anywhere?
I went to Orlando for the awards.
That sounds like me.
I just stay here and work. I'm trying to help Linda out at the magazine. Since Gene McConnell passed away, there's been a big void. And we're trying to get the magazine going again, back to where it was, 200, 300 pages.
So we want to know about the magazine, but I want to know about you.
About me?
Talk about you? Are you a professor?
I used to be.
Okay.
I'm a retired professor.
And where did you teach?
Well, I taught at East Carolina University first.
Oh, really?
And then I decided I didn't want to teach anymore.
How come?
I wanted to make more money.
Oh.
A college professor made about $25,000 back then.
That's awful.
And I could make more money selling cars. So I did.
You sold cars?
I sold cars, yes.
Oh, wow. Were you good at it?
Very good.
So as an intellectual person, how do you shift gears? I mean, how do you go from that into, not that car salespeople aren't intellectual, But I mean, you're a thinking person. You're an analytical person. I mean, I know that just from the things I read that you post on Facebook. So I mean, how does I would never have guessed you were a car salesman. How long did you do that?
Oh, probably about 5 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And did you enjoy that?
Oh, yeah. I enjoy anything I do. But I enjoy doing different things, too. I enjoy my writing most of all. It's the one thing I've done consistently.
And you're a good writer.
Decent.
You're a good writer because the ability for me to feel what you're writing comes through your words.
Well, thank you.
And when you write something, it's obviously that you're either having a fun time or angry about something. You're good at being angry.
Hey.
Do you like that? Do you like that? Is that a good compliment?
I'm not sure how to take that. I'm good at being angry. I know I get angry quite a bit.
Sure. I mean,
I'm an emotional person.
If you're writing something and you're clearly upset about whatever it is you're writing about, there's no question that you're upset about it.
Well, if you're going to do anything good, you've got to put yourself into it. And if I've got an issue that I want to confront, then I put myself into it.
Well, I've known people who verbally, sitting across the table from them, will be really adamantly passionate about something. Maybe anger is the wrong word, but passionate, okay?
I think that's a better word.
And then they'll write something, and they'll say, gosh, where's the passion? And let me bring anger back into it. Where's the anger you had? And they'll say, gosh, I don't want that to come across, and I don't want people to see that I'm angry about it. Well, but that gave us some meat. That gave us some oomph, you know?
Well, that's what distinguishes one person's work from another person.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. But I'm wondering if that's the old Bud. Were you that way in the beginning of your writing?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I was.
So you were more cautious about.
But I didn't have the talent. I'm not even sure it's talent. I didn't have the experience.
That's what I think. I think experience is a better word.
You learn to use words.
Right.
You learn to be effective with words, and that's what's missing in most people's writing.
Yeah.
I see poetry ladies put up on Facebook.
Right.
Some of them are ho-hum. But every now and then, somebody comes right across and hits you right there in the center part of your chest, and you say, wow.
Are you a fan of poetry?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yes, I don't write it myself. I did a long time ago, but I don't write it myself. I prefer prose. I like the written word. I like dialogue. I like to examine how people live and how they react to certain things.
Tell me about your writing. Are you an author of books?
I've written 10 books.
10 books?
10 books in
Wow,
print.
that's impressive.
If you look me up on Amazon.com as Harold Thomas Beck, you'll see them out there.
Harold, okay.
I wrote one book called Corn Planter Chronicles, which I think I'm most proud of. It's about a war chief of the Iroquois tribes,
Oh, wow.
corn planter. He was a relatively unknown person in our history, but a significant person in our history. We all know the term Great White Father.
Yeah.
He's the one who termed it.
Really?
He was talking about, of course, George Washington, his contemporary. So Washington became the Great White Father.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
That's where it came from.
Do you know what's interesting too? This whole thing about the flags over at McPherson. Okay, those are the nations that once ruled over Florida.
Yeah.
Wasn't there the nation? Wasn't the Timucua? Wasn't that technically a nation?
Yes, it was.
So why don't we have that? I mean, they may
I
not
don't
have
think
had.
they had a flag.
Yeah, but we could make one. I mean, couldn't we save something to represent?
Are we supposed to create it? I know I know when they wanted to put that casino up in, I guess, Connecticut. I forget the name. Foxwoods? Is that it?
I don't know.
It was the largest casino in the United States. They actually created an Indian tribe so they could get by the law.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, I'm serious as can be.
I didn't know that.
I think it was a real Indian tribe, but there aren't any relatives left.
What was your subject as a professor? What did you teach?
Pardon me? Oh, I taught English. What else? English and writing.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I enjoy teaching.
But I wondered if maybe you could have taught history.
I should have. I know history very, very well.
You're a good historian.
Oh, I love it. I love history.
There was a story the other day about, the fact that artifacts are probably, like 90% of the artifacts that are under the earth are probably still under the earth.
Yes.
That we haven't found any of them. Like right here in Marion County, apparently the what's the big, the woolly mammoth or whatever it's called? Was that the one? The
Oh, yeah.
mastodon? Whatever it
That's
was that we had here. They're probably still under the ground here.
No doubt.
Wouldn't that be cool to find one? All right, we got to take a little break. I'm enjoying the conversation. I've really never had a chance to chat with you, so this is enjoyable for me. And Linda, I promise we'll be fair to the magazine too. We'll be talking about what's in the magazine. It's the luxury issue.
The luxury issue.
Of Ocala magazine.
We started right off with the magazine, so there can't be any complaints there.
All right, we'll be right back with Dr. Bud Beck. We'll be right back.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy. Never being in the mood. And when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
Robin, let's try a little plant trivia. Name this nursery. It's a not-for-profit, and it teaches growing and caring for plants to their students.
Oh, that's easy. Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? It's a nursery conveniently located between Ocala and Bellevue.
Again, it's Kenny's Place.
Or how about this one? A nursery with a wide variety of just what you need or want at the most reasonable prices.
Kenny's Place, of course.
Kenny's Place at 7677 Southeast 41st Court. Give them a call at 867-1213. It's a caring place for people and plants. It's Kenny's Place.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my
too.
seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Today, tomorrow, and Sunday, it looks pretty much the same. Sunshine will mix with some clouds. We'll have a thunderstorm that'll spread from near the coast early in the day to further inland by the afternoon. Highs will range from 90 to 93, and it looks like any thunder shower will be around in the evening hours. It'll dissipate and turn out partly cloudy with lows in the mid to upper 70s. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
All right, 18 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. You're listening to the portion of AM Ocala Live on Fridays called Ocala Magazine Radio. Kelly Hart, who is normally your host of this half hour, is not here. She's in Texas. And Dr. Bud Beck has agreed to sit in her behalf. Not quite as pretty as Kelly, but just as talented when it comes to the words. And speaking of, by the way, of the thing we said about the camera, it's the same thing true with a typewriter or now. I don't even know what you call it now. Word processor, computer. What do you write on?
I use a computer, obviously, but or my phone now. I write on my phone.
You do?
Yes.
Oh wow! See, I could never do that.
I enjoy the aspect where I can just talk into it and do that when I'm writing along.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
If I get an idea, I just put on my notes and start talking.
Are you a science guy?
Oh, I love science.
There's a science guy. There was a science story this morning. Gosh, I'd love to share it with you. They have seen evidence. Scientists have observed. Oh gosh, that's here somewhere. But that a jellyfish gets to become a certain age and then starts to reverse its age and goes back to its embryonic state and then gets old again. It's almost like this is an eternal animal unless a turtle eats it.
That's interesting.
You're looking at me suspiciously.
No.
I got to find it.
It's very interesting. That's an interesting thing.
So I guess if they could figure out, for example, how a lizard grows its tail back, then we could grow an arm back.
Well, it's the basis of one of the Spider-Man movies, wasn't it?
Oh, was it? I don't know.
I guess that was
know.
the new Spider-Man a couple years ago that came out.
So if they could figure out how the jellyfish does this, gosh, what did I do with it? But if they could figure out how the jellyfish does this, then I don't know.
Well,
Are you a spiritual guy?
Sure.
So I often thought this, that if we have a way to keep ourselves alive forever, wouldn't we be depriving ourselves of heaven?
Is heaven, or is it the next step in reality? Good question there. Think about that.
Well, in the Lord's Prayer, not to get too religious, but it says on earth as it is in heaven.
Yes.
So maybe eventually this is supposed to be heaven-like here.
Could be.
If we would just get the people who aren't behaving to start behaving.
Well, what is heaven to certain people? Some people have heaven on earth. I met a man the other day. He spends his life on a horse. He loves horses.
That's heaven to him.
That's heaven. He runs a trail riding program down right next to the horse park. Bobby Genovese opened up a trail riding.
So what is your
program.
heaven? What is your heaven?
I'm not sure. I couldn't put my finger on it because I don't know that I've really been happy in my life.
Really?
Not like Marco, who I met the other day, but
Who?
I mean, he's happy riding his horse.
Okay, that's who it is.
And he's happy dealing with his horses. That's his heaven. For me, it could be writing. I'm editing a book that I've been writing for probably 5 or 6 years. It's basically done now. I just have to write the ending.
Do you know the songwriter Randy Newman? Do you know
Yes.
Randy Newman? Well, he said something interesting. He said, I hate writing. But he's such a good writer, a
Yes.
songwriter. And I thought, wow, you hate it. But maybe because it's such a task. I don't know.
He hates it because he loves it so much.
Maybe.
It becomes a chore,
Yeah.
you know?
But I was surprised to hear that because most people, and I guess maybe it's a love-hate thing. Who
It
knows?
has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you can love somebody, you can hate them. Ask any one of my ex-wives; they'll tell you that.
So when you're thinking about money, some people will say, if I had, a gazillion dollars, whatever number you want to put there, it would be heaven for me. And of course, that would never be true. But I was on a bicycle trail one time, one of the nice trails around here. It was a beautiful day. It wasn't that hot. wasn't cold at all. Stopped and sat on a grassy hill. And I thought, if I had $1 million or $10 million or $1 billion, this moment wouldn't be any better than it is right now.
That's right.
So that was kind of heaven at that moment for me.
I think that's what we strive to do. We want to perpetuate that moment in our lives. But that isn't what life is about. When you think about it, it's holding your baby for the first time.
Beautiful.
Watching them grow up. My son was such a reward to me, such a joy to me, and then such a pain in the neck sometimes. You just wanted to choke him, But, so that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Not everything nothing's perfect. It's how we deal with life every day.
Well said. Yeah, I feel the same way about my son. Actually, talking about what is heaven kind of can connect to the luxury theme of the magazine, because if you think about wanting to have luxurious things and realizing that things may not equal luxury, but I think just having a sunny day is a luxury, or getting the chance to hold the baby is a luxury.
We do a feature every month called At Home With. This time we did it with Dr. Lang, the eye doctor here in town. And his house is absolutely beautiful.
Right.
I always thought it was. I've been there several times. And I suggested it to Kelly, and she followed through on it. One of the other people who knows him has been there, wasn't impressed with his house. So it's in the eye of the beholder.
Really?
This...
It's a nice pictorial.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we've known Dr. Lang for a long time, and I hadn't seen the children in a long time.
Haven't they grown?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
I know. I remember I forget the daughter's name right now, but she was just 18 months old the first time I saw her.
Oh, my gosh.
Now she's just...
Paris is her middle name, right? Her second.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's just a lovely young woman now. And, of course, Dr. Lang's just a wonderful guy. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
So, but we try to touch everything in the magazine. We try to touch on everything. If you look across this issue, we've got a wide number of articles talking about overeating, and then we talk about sickle cell disease. And of course, I go ahead and throw my piece in there for my little PREM, Patients' Right for Excellent Medicine. I was kind of shocked to find out that they're bringing back Sarah Palin's death panel.
Oh, no.
Seriously, this just recently touched Linda and I close recently with the way Gene McConnell passed away. That anymore you become useless to the government, and the government doesn't want to take care of you, and they're just willing to watch you pass away peacefully. And now Medicare is paying for end-of-life counseling. They put Dr. Jack Kevorkian in jail for it, but now doctors will get paid for it.
Is that right?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Now, what's the Sarah Palin connection with that?
Well, back when they were trying to pass Obamacare, she referred to the death panel.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And that was the part with end-of-life counseling.
Oh, okay.
And,
gotcha.
I mean, you go off to some place, perhaps hospice or even at home, where they give you the proper medication so you go to sleep and never wake up.
And to think, as you just pointed out, that we might be doing that simply to save a few dollars. That's kind of crazy.
Well, it's not so crazy, because when you look at what's going on with Dr. Kummer, it's all about money. It isn't about, that's a man that works.
No. You misunderstood me. I agree with you.
Oh, okay, yes. I apologize.
No. I said it's crazy because it's crazy to think that we wouldn't allow the money to be spent, or we would encourage people to not spend the money just so somebody else could have it.
When you think of the way we waste money in this country.
I know, absolutely.
To not invest it in our elderly people, to not pay an excellent physician to save lives.
Do you know what I read the other day, Bud? I read there was a story about the people in Japan when that tsunami came,
Sure.
and the nuclear plants and all of the radiation. So now they couldn't live in some of those towns because they had to be cleaned up, and nobody could go in there to clean it up because you're going to die if you're exposed to that radiation. So there was a group of older people who said, you know what, we've lived our lives, we're going to go in and clean it up, and we'll take whatever happens. Now that's a pretty amazing story.
That is amazing. I remember when that happened.
Yeah.
I thought the same way that you do right now, because these people are saying, let's use the rest of our lives for something constructive to help people.
Or I can use Robin's stepdad when he was dying. He could have lived longer if he had received a lung transplant and a lung was available. And he said, there's got to be somebody younger than me who could use it. And so he didn't take it, and he ended up dying.
I feel bad for him. I mean, there's a man to be admired.
Sure.
But sometimes you're rewarded. I was given a motorized wheelchair in the early stages of my ALS, and I did not want to be in a wheelchair. I had to. I couldn't walk, and I gave the motorized wheelchair through my American Legion post down in Lady Lake to a young man that lost his legs in Afghanistan.
Oh, my goodness.
And you look at me today, I'm walking. So I was rewarded for that. I didn't want to be in the wheelchair. I knew I didn't need a motorized wheelchair, but it was given to me.
How you feeling?
I feel great. I feel better every day. I've just taken a membership at the Zone. And
what is that, an exercise place?
Yeah,
a
it's
gym?
health and fitness. I'm taking a membership there, and I'm going to start working out every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for somebody wasn't expected to live beyond 3 years ago and never to walk again, I think I'm doing okay.
Wow, well, good for you. Gosh, it went quick. This was such an enjoyable visit.
I've enjoyed this myself, too. This has really been a pleasure.
Dr. Bud Beck, a pleasure getting to know you, aside from the Facebook posts that I see.
Yeah, we see each other on
Give
Facebook
a yellow rose
bit.
to somebody. It means
Yes.
something. I can't remember what you posted this morning or whatever that was. The magazine is Ocala Magazine, of course. It's out there everywhere, and this issue is about luxury. So this was a luxury for me to be able to chat with you. Dr. Beck, thank you.
Thank you very much. My pleasure being here.
Where's Kelly?
Ocala's
Kelly's theme song. Wait, there we go. That's the theme song. All right. Thank you. We'll be right back.
two women are set to make history this morning when they become the first female Army Rangers.
The Army says the women were held to the same standards as their male counterparts during rugged training in woods, mountains, and swamps. Captain Kristen Grice says